Hello folks, my name's Danny Garrett with the Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife, and we're out here on a beautiful day in late December, just a couple days before the start of the new year. And we wanted to show you a great wintertime activity here in western Washington, and that's trolling for coastal cutthroat trout. I'm joined today by a native Washingtonian, Paul Lewis, who grew up on Lake Sammamish, where we'll be fishing today. Paul, what got you into fishing?
Well, I started fishing throwing little lures and night crawlers off the end of my dock when I was about 4 years old. When I was 12 or 13, I got a 8-foot little plastic boat and learned how to troll out here on this lake.
What kind of lures do you think work best for catching coastal cutthroat trout in Lake Sammamish?
So out here on the lake, we like to use little 4/0 Dodgers like this Dick Knight. Lots of colors work. And then if you're trolling long lines or off the top of the water, these Ford fenders work really well as well. About 12 inches a leader, and then you put on a nice wedding ring such as this one and tip it with a little night crawler.
Looks simple enough. You think we're gonna catch any fish today?
Well, not standing here.
All right, let's get after it.
So to find fish this time of year, what we're looking for is some surface activity. This could be schooling birds or fish jumping at the beginning of the day because they're feeding on little hatches of bugs called midges. Looking at the sonar, we're seeing a lot of fish in this area, so we're gonna give us a start here. We're starting our troll with an attractor, down to our wedding ring, tipped with a little bit of night crawler. We'll be going about 1.5, 1.6 miles per hour. We'll have this rod way back from the boat to let the fish settle from the boat passing so they're not spooked. Let's see if we can catch them. We got a nice cutthroat here, about 14, 15 inches. We got him on the deeper rod down at about 20 feet, going about 2 miles an hour. Beautiful fish. Got a nice fish on here again on the deep rod, about 21, 22 feet down. He's pulling some drag here at the start of the fight, so we'll see what we've got. We have another beautiful 17-inch Lake Sammamish cutthroat trout here. We switched up and went a little deeper and put a wed wedding ring on, and that seemed to do the trick. Again, down going about 2 miles an hour, 21 feet.
Coastal cutthroat trout have an amazing diversity of life history characteristics, which partially explains why they are so prolific here in western Washington. You have resonant forms, which spend their entire lives in small streams. You have fluvial forms, which spawn and rear in tributaries of rivers and streams, but spend most of their lives feeding and growing in large rivers. You have adfluvial forms, which we're fishing for today here in Lake Sammamish, which spawn and rear in streams and move to the lake to feed. And lastly, you have anadromous forms, or sea-run cutthroat trout, which spawn and rear in freshwater, but migrate to saltwater to feed and grow.
We just hooked into another nice fish here. Again on the downrigger on a deeper rod. We switched up from our top water. Let's see what he is in a second. We've just caught another nice 16.5-inch cutthroat here on Lake Sammamish. We switched up and went a little deeper in our presentations, running 2 off the downriggers, put a darker color wedding ring on. Just a few minutes later, another nice, beautiful fish.
Nice fish. Another beautiful Lake Sammamish coastal cutthroat trout. A couple other important things to note today. There's a 5-fish limit for coastal cutthroat trout currently on Lake Sammamish, but this regulation will vary from lake to lake, so make sure you check your regulations before you come out here fishing. It's also important to have a rubberized knotless net that has allowed us to safely release some of the fish we caught, particularly the smaller ones. You also want to be able to release kokanee salmon in Lake Sammamish because there's currently a kokanee salmon recovery project on the lake and all kokanee need to be released. If you're unsure about how to distinguish between a kokanee salmon and a coastal cutthroat trout, there's a real nice informative sign at the Lake Sammamish State Park boat ramp that'll tell you how to distinguish between these two species.
Oh, let's fish. It's on. Just had our first double of the day here. We'd actually slowed down to get some footage for the other fish here, and this fish just hit. We were only going about a mile an hour. Let's see what he is here. That was really cool, man. That was cool. We had our first double of the day, and this just really caps off a phenomenal day of fishing here on Lake Sammamish.
We sure hope we've intrigued some of you to come out here and take advantage of this great opportunity right in your backyard if you live in the Seattle area. We also encourage you to check out our Fish Washington search engine, as there's many opportunities for coastal cutthroat trout throughout the region.
Thanks for watching, and have a great time fishing Washington.
Bye.